Hello, all, and welcome to a Wednesday afternoon post-work beer review. Why am I doing beer review? And by the way, this might be the only beer review I do this week. Well, I have plans for my days off, which means I won't be able to do my usual evening and afternoon beer reviews. So why not just do it, on what is essentially my Friday, Wednesday afternoon? And I'm going to dub this beer review the slightly sleepy beer review. I'm slightly sleepy right now. Don't quite know why, other than the fact that I'm done with a fairly long and arduous work week, honestly. And what will we be reviewing this week? We will be reviewing another Echigo ale, and this is their red ale. And I just want to go and point out the nice bottle art here. You have some Japanese cranes and pink sakura blossoms. I would just like craft beer brewers to no more edgy, no more ironic, and especially no more corporate art. Try to do something aesthetic. Anyways, this particular bottle was one of the two gifted by my father's friend for me to review because he enjoys watching my reviews. Thank you very much. Um, I wish I could remember your name. My bad. My father told me the name. We were watching TV at the time, so it didn't stick inside. Sorry. Anyways, this is an American red slash amber ale. No comprehensible date on it, and this is 6.0 ABV. I'm going to be pouring it out into craft beer glass, which I had to go and clean several times because you kind of notice I put oil pomade on my hair on work days, and while I was handling the glass, it's like, God damn it, did my, did my hair oil get to the glass? And yes, it did. I had to go and clean the glass again. Yummy. Not as yummy as the roach that somehow got into my water bottle that I didn't notice until the end of the day when I went to refill my water bottle. I fucking hate the roach problem here. But yeah, what else can I say? On to the beer review. Feels odd drinking beer on nights I usually don't drink beer. So, a dark copper red. Kind of looks brown in the camera, but when you hold it up to light, yes, copper red. With a beige to cream to beige, thick, fluffy head. Some earthy and floral hopping. With a somewhat honeyed and biscuity malt base. So it smells pretty sweet. Onto the palate. Now, shall we? Gotta say the whole phrase, man. Gotta say the whole phrase. It's not just my dad who goes and points it out. Other people have pointed it out. It's my catchphrase now. I wish it was a bit of a cooler catchphrase I kind of came up with, but I wasn't looking to come up with a catchphrase. It just sort of ended up becoming one. Hmm. Very soft, very mild carbonation bite. Malt forward with a hop bitterness that rises to its peak in the mids and then declines, leaving a subtle mix of sweet maltiness and hop bitterness on the long finish. I would say this is very well balanced in terms of hop bitterness to maltiness, in that there is a sort of give and take and given an interplay of give and take in between the two poles of flavor there. The malt has a very nice caramelized note to it, and it's sweet, but not overwhelmingly sweet. You know, it's not cloying. It's just very well balanced. Now, for my own personal taste, I'd like a little bit more, I wouldn't say oomph, but a broadness in the malt taste spectrum there. But it's definitely head and shoulders above a lot of red slash amber ales, which were overhopped for my palate. For me, one of the great things about an amber or red ale is that malt taste to it, that kind of caramelized malt note to it. And this one has it, and just the right perfect amount. I just wish it was a little bit more broader. You know, that I was getting a bit more bread-like notes to it, or toasty notes to it. There's a definite lack of a nice toastiness that the really sublime red ales tend to have, in my opinion. This is still good. It's not reaching into that sublime level for me. Maybe there's just a hint of toastiness. I would just prefer a little bit more. I just prefer it to be a little bit bigger. Now, if you're a hophead, which is kind of the opposite of me in some respects, you know, you'd probably be like, oh, I wish this, I wish this on the palate had a bit more dimensionality to the hops other than, a well balanced bitterness with just a hint of pininess, which is kind of what it is. But I like to, when it comes to red ale, I really like to focus on the malts. Hops are important, but I'm not going to go and be, like, going over the the fine tuning of the hopping, as it were. There's actually a bit more toastiness in the top note than on the palate, which is a little bit odd to me. Which is why I guess it took a little time for it to register to me. Feels exactly at about 6.0. Doesn't feel lighter or heavier than its actual listed ABV. And I would say the only flaw, that it's not persistent. It kind of pops its head through every now and then, but just briefly and not strongly. There's a slight metallic taste to it. But like I said, it's not omnipresent as you're drinking it, and it's very slight. Yeah, not really changing too much as it warms up. I'm kind of hitting this, man. Maybe I was a little bit thirsty. That's why I was sleepy, you know? So, what can I say about premium red ale, Echigo premium red ale? Better than many red slash amber ales that I've had. I believe a lot of brewers nowadays tend to overhop it for my tasting. Of course, it should be hoppier than an Irish red ale, which almost certainly should be malt forward, with the hops being far in the back seat, which is why it's one of my favorite styles, because it's really, good Irish red ale is really a demonstration of the brewer's knowledge of their of their malt blending skills. Now, I digress there for a little bit. Now, this, isn't the top of the American red ales that I've had. It's definitely good. I would not turn this down by any means. Some minor flaws to it. Well, a minor flaw to it. Like I said, the rest of the things I'm talking about is your mileage may vary, sort of. And yeah, so this is probably going to be the last of the Echigos that I review. I kind of did a whole bunch of them. I have to say that my favorite, the one that really hit it out of the ballpark, is their take on the rice lager, which was really an example for me of what a rice lager would be like if done to the standards of a very high quality German lager. Light German lager, obviously, like a Pilsner or you know Pilsner or a Helles or anything along those kind of lines. You get what I mean? So yeah, that was probably the best one. Followed by the stout, followed by this, followed by the IPA, and then ending up with the Hefeweizen. Hefeweizen, while not a bad beer, was not very impressive to me. This, while not impressive to me, was a good beer that I would by no means turn down, especially since I like the style a lot. And folks, yeah, I guess that's your beer review for this afternoon. I'm probably going to go and drink an energy drink now, watch some more videos, and browse kiwi farms. And that, folks, is your Japanese beer review for the week. Kampai.